Hey y'all, welcome back to Harmon Homestead. Today I'm going to do a quick video. It's early in the morning and I've got some things to do. So I want to show you what we have in our seed collection, okay? This is what I've collected over the past 2 years. Some of this is what my husband has gotten, but I want to show you our seed stash, okay? So a lot of this is from many different stores, many different places, online. The only thing I'm not showing you is what we buy from our local feed store as far as corn. We use peaches and cream. Okay, this year we're planting Cherokee, White Eagle, dent corn as well. We got that online. And our rattlesnake pole beans, stuff like that that we get from the store. I'm not going to show you in this video. This is mainly just seed packets that we bought, okay? This is the first one. Peas, snap peas. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have not had luck with English peas, and I would rather plant the beans this time of year and know that I'm going to get something out of it. These are a gamble. We did these one time, and I just did not have the best success. So, it's not the seeds, it's the grower, okay? But we do have sugar peas. We have autumn zebra pole beans. We're going to plant this by our corn this year. This is from Baker Creek, okay? This was in some of the seed packets that they sent us to grow from seed to harvest. We have the micro tom tomato from Baker Creek. That's going to go in our hydroponic garden. We have red swan bush beans from Baker Creek. We're going to plant those in our raised bed. Evening sun sunflowers. Baker Creek going to plant these, okay? These are purple beans, okay? And they are probably going to go by they're pole, okay? They're going to go by our corn as well. From Baker Creek, got 2 packets of those. We have amaranth. Never grown this before. We're going to try it. The leaves you can eat as lettuce, but these will stand up to heat and humidity. So if you live in the South, try this, or let me know if you've had success with it. We're going to try it this year, okay? We have our free seed variety is carrots, St. Valerie, Auroch. I've never planted this before. Says it will take heat. Okay, we're going to try this in just a week or two. Baker Creek. Dragon tongue beans. Can't wait to plant those. These are bush beans. Okay. Mazurkia zinnias. Guys, I've not planted zinnias since I was a child. I cannot wait to plant these this year. Baker Creek red sun sunflowers, another sunflower. Look at these zinnias. These were from Baker Creek. Candy cane mix. I got a lot of planting to do, okay? Mammoth sunflowers from Baker Creek. Purple print zinnias. Queen lime orange zinnias. All this is Baker Creek with the black packet, okay? I've got a lot. And I may not get all this in the ground, but either way, I'm going to try, okay? The choice mix, scabiosa zinnias, chocolate cherry sunflower from Baker Creek. I just dropped one. Autumn Beauty. And I showed you this one already. Okay, I'm just going to start putting them behind me. Marvel of Venice pole beans. These are like the Italian beans. Baker Creek. Pepper, that was in our free seed packet. And now we're going to start kind of changing everything up. I have Sugar Baby watermelons from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. These did really well last year. And then from Wilhite Seed Company, I have vertical yellow squash. These were amazing. I've still got a few of those seeds. More sugar snap beans from Southern Exposure. Or sugar snap peas, my bad. These are peas. I had planned to do a big pea garden. It just did not work. Okay, the weather was not conducive for that this year. Swiss chard. Got this from the store. The stalk is like celery, but sweeter. But the leaves are really good. Okay. Easter basket radish mix from Baker Creek. And the du jour radish, the 18-day radish. I showed you this. I've got to thin these out. They're growing excellent. We had excellent germination. These both from Baker Creek. That's going to be a quick turnover in a raised bed. That will provide you food to put up, freeze, eat, and go. And flip it over in a month. Got more of the Sugar Daddy peas. Thornburg's Terracotta tomato from Baker Creek. Now I showed you all of our tomatoes. Yellow Brandywine. Wood's Famous Brimmer tomato. Black Creme. That's going to end up being my favorite so far, at least as far as germination. Boko Boko spinach. This right here, we started these inside. I had one germinate. This is going to be more direct seed, I have a feeling. We have early prolific straight neck squash from Southern Exposure, and then I planted tons of the Dark Star zucchini from Southern Exposure. These have done great. I start mine inside just to give them a little jump, and they do great. This is Victory Seed Company. Little Marvel English peas. I promise you I'm going to have peas at some point in time, guys. I've got lettuce tape. We tried this 1 year in the fall, and then it turned off really hot in October. All of this stuff just didn't make it. I have the worst trouble with a fall garden, guys. It's in Alabama, it's tough. So I've got to keep working on that. Another yellow tomato from Baker Creek. We have Roma tomatoes. Those have done great with germination. Southern Exposure. The Amish paste. These did not germinate as well for us. It may just be us. I don't know. Sart Rollois from Baker Creek. These did okay as far as germination. Henry Wild Sunflower, Baker Creek. Lemon Queen Sunflower, Baker Creek. Guys, I got a lot, but guess what? I can use all of this next year. Brandywine tomatoes. Now, last year I started tons of transplants. A lot of family and friends needed these, so I've got seed packets galore of all different types, okay? Straight 8 cucumber. Pickle bush cucumber. Bush Champion cucumber. And guess what? I started cucumber seeds inside and only had one germinate, so I'm going to plant these outside. Market More 76 from Southern Exposure. Atkinson tomato, Southern Exposure. Now we get into all these that I bought last year. Abe Lincoln tomato. I did not plant anything this year except heirloom tomatoes. Beefsteak tomato. Then I have tons of Tango leaf lettuce from M.I. Gardner. That's done really well. Ruby red leaf lettuce in my gardener. Done great in the hydroponic grower. Okay. Red Russian kale, my favorite. Chinese narrow leaf lettuce. Excellent from Baker Creek. Excellent germination. Seems to be doing well so far. Giant blue feather leaf. So-so on the germination that I had. I would go with the Chinese narrow leaf. 1,000 head kale. Showed you that. Walking stick kale. And the Tronchuta kale. All of my kales did great. I did a video on planting our first transplants of the spring. Check it out. Dazzling blue kale. Let's go through here. If the apocalypse happens, then I'll be good on seeds, I believe. We've got red velvet lettuce. And then Lola Rosa leaf lettuce. Lola Rosa has done well in the Alabama heat. Eva purple ball tomatoes, Southern Exposure. Those did good last year. Blue Hubbard squash. Like 100% germination outside in the greenhouse. Winter luxury pie squash. Spaghetti squash. These did not germinate that well for some reason. We may direct seed those, may not. The Rouge pumpkins, 100% germination. Excellent. Huge little leaves. Excellent. Royal golden watermelon. Mango peach melon. Great germination. Clay County yellow meated watermelon. Baker Creek. Early fortune cucumber. That's the ones that did not do so great this year as far as germination. I may just need to direct seed those. Rampicante squash. These take a while to germinate, guys. They take a while. Crookneck squash and the Cuckoozy. These are huge little transplants as well. And looks like I dropped one or two. Let me see. Okay. more of the dark star zucchini and the tango leaf lettuce. Okay, so I showed you all that. We have bantam golden corn. And now it gets into, let's see here, stuff I've had. And let me show you what I use for a lot of these. This is an old tea tin, okay, with a lid that I put my seeds in. Keeps them dry in a cool, dark spot in a cabinet. I have early jalapeno peppers. We didn't plant one pepper transplant this year. Black Beauty eggplants. Jalapenos, again. Rosemary. Y'all, herbs are some of the hardest to germinate. I just went ahead and bought 2 little rosemary bushes this year. They are the hardest. Oregano. Lavender. Spearmint. All these herbs, I just finally gave up on. I planted them in January. Nothing germinated. I said, you know what? It'll be all right. Thyme. Sage. Okay. Sweet banana peppers from Southern Exposure. These did excellent last year. More spearmint. English lavender. Ping tongue long eggplants. I prefer the Black Beauty. That's just me. I grew those last year. California Wonder peppers. More California Wonder peppers and Black Beauty eggplant. Okay. Last but not least, let's get in this box. Guys, I've got tons. Okay. Butternut squash. The Waltham. I have not had success with this. Our plants grew last fall, but they did not make. One little itty bitty butternut squash and he rotted before the frost. So I may just need to plant these in the spring. Early acorn hybrid. These did excellent. Excellent last fall. However, they all had little holes. And it's like something bored in them and they were rotten on the inside. So we got to work with that again this year. This comes from our feed store. Butternut and carrots. Spaghetti squash, that did not do well. Again, different type. Early white bush scallop squash did excellent last year. The patty pan squash. And my gardener sparkler tip radish. Now that I've used the Baker Creek and I see that I can grow radishes for once in my life, we're going to use these next, guys. This is back when everything was still $1. So I bought tons and I'm glad I did. These have never been opened. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Purple plum radish. Got several of those. And you can tear through a pack of radish seeds, okay? If you're planting 3 10-foot rows, I mean, you can tear through some radishes. I have snowball cauliflower. Mammoth red rock cabbage. Again, these fall crops I have trouble with. This has been my favorite, the Savoy cabbage, as far as what I can grow. Red acre cabbage. Early purple sprouting broccoli from Victory Seed. I have trouble with this every year, guys. Early green broccoli, same thing. Kohlrabi, bought this. Not been able to plant it. Pak choy. Y'all, I got everything known to man. Okay, white galaxy asparagus beans from Southern Exposure and the Liana asparagus beans. These I planted last year. Still a buzz on it. They did awesome. Okay, so the asparagus beans, y'all, they'll be 2-3 foot long, and you just snap them, and you really get more bean volume per space because they're so long. Kentucky Wonder pole beans. I've never planted these. I've always done the rattlesnake. Okay. Hanson improved crisp head lettuce. We can't plant this where we're at. It's just not gonna make it. Okay. Butter crunch lettuce. I'm going to try really hard. Little Jim lettuce. I'm going to try this year again. My goal is to have a good fall garden. Iceberg lettuce. Then we've got some Southport white globe onions. Okay, basil. Purple basil. Lemon basil. Lemon balm. Chives. A lot of this you need to be planting now, okay? It's not one of these that you start in January. Parsley. Dill. Catnip. Y'all, I got so muches. Bunching onions. I'm going to plant those this year. Chamomile. A lot of this you can use as a tea, guys. Look it up, the benefits of these herbs. You really can, but are you going to plant herbs in your garden and let that be it, or are you going to plant beans? and tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers? Are you going to plant that kind of stuff, or are you going to plant herbs? I'm going to be planting the food, okay? Slow bolt cilantro. More cilantro. Greek miniature basil. Sweet basil. Genovese basil. Okay, these I was not able to plant last year. We ran out of space, but again, I'm going to have me some flowers this year because I just want them. Like my husband said, you got to feed more than your stomach. You got to feed your soul, okay? Cut and come again zinnias. Oklahoma mixed color zinnias. That's from Burpee. Space hybrid spinach. We have had success with this. Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. Market More 76. I showed you that one. 5 colors silver beet rainbow Swiss chard. This will do excellent in a hydroponic grower indoors. Okay. All right. Southern Georgia collards. I've always planted the Vatese collards. They do excellent. I'm a collards girl like I am kale, and they're pretty much the same. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. Okay, let me show you my favorite pumpkin to date. We planted these last spring. Cherokee bush pumpkins. Amazing. And last but not least, Southern Exposure Seed Exchange Everglades tomato. If you cannot plant a tomato, this is the one for you. These are cherry tomatoes. These plants will get like 7 foot, okay? They're insane, 7 foot across. They took over my garden last year. I planted 5 or 6 of these in 30 feet, and it was a jungle. I was whacking these down. I couldn't even get to the tomatoes. If you're going to plant these, plant you 1 or 2, okay? And make sure they are far apart, and you keep these things trimmed and stay on top of them, because this right here will give you more tomatoes than you can imagine. Most of those we froze last year. That was before I started canning. Especially with tomatoes. Tomatoes, I've never canned. I'm going to learn this year. Last year was about beans and okra and all that stuff. But that right there, put them in a pot, saute them, bust them down, put some cheese mixture in there, and you can freeze that, and that's your pasta sauce right there. Excellent, excellent. Okay, guys, that's what we have in our seed library, seed stash, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to use a lot of this, and we're going to keep using it. And yes, I've got more seeds than I need, but hey, it's all about fun. Get out and grow something. We'll see you next time on Harmon Homestead.